Obama says he based decisions on facts, reason and logic. Former President Barack Obama said Wednesday that he tried to build a culture centered around problem-solving and not personal gain while in the White House, an effective strategy for any organization that also prevents big scandals and indictments. Obama's comments drew applause from a crowd of about 9,000 people at a business conference in Salt Lake City. Obama didn't mention President Donald Trump and wasn't asked about him during a question-and-answer session, but he made several comments that seemed to allude to the state of the country and the Trump administration. Things like rule of law, democracy and competence and facts, those things are not partisan, but they also don't happen automatically, Obama said. There has to be citizens who insist on it and participate to make sure it happens. Democracy is a garden that has to be tended. Obama said he felt confident he was making the best possible decisions during his presidency about difficult problems such as Osama bin Laden and the U.S. banking crisis because he surrounded himself with smart people who didn't always agree with him. He said he strived to get all perspectives about the topic at hand. Calling himself old-fashioned, he said he believed in things like facts and reason and logic, Obama said. The remark triggered loud applause and laughter before Obama responded, "Thank you. We have a fact-based crowd here." He lamented the polarized time we live in which people get fractured information. People want their own facts that are suited to their opinions rather than shaping their opinions around facts, Obama said. He answered questions from Brian Smith, CEO of Qualtrics International Incorporated, a Provo, Utah-based survey software provider that hosted the conference, the Qualtrics Experience Management Summit. The company, which was bought last year by SAP for $8 billion, makes technology that helps companies get feedback from employees and customers. The conference brings several big-name speakers, including Richard Branson, who went on stage before Obama and delighted the audience with stories about how started his airline company and came up with the name for his brands, Virgin. He lit up about his ridiculously exciting Virgin Galactic's venture that is working toward commercial operations that will take passengers on supersonic thrill rides to the lower reaches of space to experience a few minutes of weightlessness and a view of the Earth below. He said he hopes to go up in one of his ships in July. At one point, Obama weighed in on about his worries about the internet and social media's influence on children. It's making them so absorbed with what is the world thinking about them in a way that we just weren't subject to when we were kids, said Obama, who has 2 daughters. Some of this is figuring out, what's the filter you set up that allows critical information and effective feedback? But just shutting yourself off from the narcissistic consumption of, what does he think about me? Am I liked? Apostrophe. Robert Mueller's probe so far, 8 convictions, including 3 top Trump aides, a jailed attorney and 25 Russians accused, pleaded guilty to making false statements in December 2017. Flynn was President Trump's former national security advisor and Robert Mueller's most senior scalp to date. He previously served when he was a 3-star general as President Obama's director of the Defense Intelligence Agency but was fired. He admitted to lying to special counsel investigators about his conversations with the Russian ambassador in December 2016. He has agreed to cooperate with the special counsel investigation. Pleaded guilty to 8 counts including fraud and 2 campaign finance violations in August 2018. Pleaded guilty to further count of lying to Congress in November 2018. Sentenced to 3 years in prison and $2 million in fines and forfeitures in December 2018. Cohen was Trump's longtime personal attorney, starting working for him and the Trump Organization in 2007. He is the longest-serving member of Trump's inner circle to be implicated by Mueller. Cohen professed unswerving devotion to Trump, and organized payments to silence 2 women who alleged they had sex with the then-candidate, porn star Stormy Daniels and Playboy model Karen McDougal. He admitted that payments to both women were felony campaign finance violations, and admitted that he acted at the direction of candidate 1, Donald Trump. He also admitted tax fraud by lying about his income from loans he made, money from taxi medallions he owned, and other sources of income, at a cost to the Treasury of $1. And he admitted lying to Congress in a rare use of the offense. The judge in his case let him report for prison on March 6 and recommended he serve it in a medium-security facility close to New York City. Guilty and jailed, Paul Manafort. Found guilty of 8 charges of bank and tax fraud in August 2018. Sentenced to 47 months in March 2019. Pleaded guilty to 2 further charges, witness tampering and conspiracy against the United States. Awaiting sentence for those. Manafort worked for Trump's campaign from March 2016 and chaired it from June to August 2016, overseeing Trump being adopted as Republican candidate at the Republican National Convention in Cleveland. He is the most senior campaign official to be implicated by Mueller. Manafort was one of Washington, D.C.'s longest-term and most influential lobbyists, but in 2015, his money dried up and the next year he turned to Trump for help, offering to be his campaign chairman for free, in the hope of making more money afterwards. But Mueller unwound his previous finances and discovered years of tax and bank fraud as he coined and cashed from pro-Russia political parties and oligarchs in Ukraine. Manafort pleaded not guilty to 18 charges of tax and bank fraud but was convicted of 8 counts in August 2018. The jury was deadlocked on the other 10 charges. A second trial on charges of failing to register as a foreign agent in September did not happen when he pleaded guilty to conspiracy against the United States and witness tampering in a plea bargain. He was supposed to cooperate with Mueller but failed to. Pleaded guilty to conspiracy against the United States and making false statements in February 2018. Gates was Manafort's former deputy at political consulting firm DMP International. He admitted to conspiring to defraud the U.S. government on financial activity, and to lying to investigators about a meeting Manafort had with a member of Congress in 2013. As a result of his guilty plea and promise of cooperation, prosecutors vacated charges against Gates on bank fraud conspiracy, failure to disclose foreign bank accounts, filing false tax returns, helping prepare false tax filings, and falsely amending tax returns. Guilty and jailed, George Papadopoulos pleaded guilty to making false statements in October 2017. Sentenced to 14 days in September 2018, and reported to prison in November. Served 12 days and released on December 7, 2018. Papadopoulos was a member of Donald Trump's campaign Foreign Policy Advisory Committee. He admitted to lying to special counsel investigators about his contacts with London professor Joseph Mifsud and Ivan Timofeyev, the director of a Russian government-funded think tank. He has agreed to cooperate with the special counsel investigation. Guilty and jailed, Richard Pinato pleaded guilty to identity fraud in February 2018. Sentenced to a year in prison. Pinato is a 28-year-old computer specialist from Santa Paula, California. He admitted to selling bank account numbers to Russian nationals over the internet that he had obtained using stolen identities. He has agreed to cooperate with the special counsel investigation. Guilty and jailed, Alex Banderswan pleaded guilty to making false statements in February 2018. He served a 30-day prison sentence and was deported to the Netherlands on his release. Banderswan is a Dutch attorney for Schouten Arps who worked on a Ukrainian political analysis report for Paul Manafort in 2012. He admitted to lying to special counsel investigators about when he last spoke with Rick Gates and Konstantin Kilimuk.